you ready? Are you ready?
It's not an attack. It's not an attack, and we did it on purpose. I mean, we were really conscious that we wanted to make a film which is not judgmental, and we were thinking probably the Europe, the world, expecting from the Polish director talking about Catholic Church something much more stronger, much more into this publicity, you know, like something wow. And we said no, it's too obvious. And that's why we wanted to make a film which is not judgmental. Yeah.
Because it must, I mean, presumably there must have been a certain amount of pressure, because isn't Andrzej Hira the first major Polish star to play a gay character in a leading role in a film that treats gay characters sympathetically? So, I mean, presumably you were, while making the film, you were well aware of that, and
you know, Andrzej Hira, he's, in my opinion, the best actor of his generation in Poland. And from the same time, he didn't have a very strong part in the movie many years. Because you've said about Dług by Krzysztof Krause, but it was many years ago. And he didn't have a very good part in the film. But I was thinking, yes, he deserves it and he needs this. And also he's playing in the theater of Krzysztof Warlikowski very radical characters. Like he used to play a gay people, but in the theater. Then somehow he was prepared and not afraid to play a homosexual priest. But it was the moment, kind of tricky moment before the premiere, after Berlinale, when Andrzej, he was afraid about the reaction of Polish society when they saw him on the street and probably all name him like, it's a gay priest, you know, something like this. But I think nothing like this happening. I hope, I have to ask him. But yeah.
I'm guessing from what you've just said, he was always your first choice for the leading role.
Yes, he was always my first choice. We were written the story especially for him, because he had a small part in my previous movies, and we were always thinking to do something bigger together. That when I was writing the story, I was writing thinking about him and how he can create this character. And also maybe that's why we decide to present the priest as somebody who we can like him, as somebody who has a brightness inside, somebody who is clever. And yeah, because of Andrzej, I think so.
Because in fact, I mean, aside from, apart from the sort of psychological torment over his sexuality, he's a pretty much completely admirable figure, isn't he? I mean, he does.
Yeah. We were thinking when we were talked about the character, we didn't use the word homosexuality. We are very concentrate on loneliness, of a desire for love, desire for sexuality, but we were avoiding treating the character as a homosexual. And even in the erotic scene also, we wanted to not to divide the word for the homosexual and the heterosexual, just to do something in general about loving.
Did you, I mean, when writing the script, did you actually talk to any priests who'd been in that situation?
Yes, we had talked with a few priests. One, it's a man who left church, and he decided to marry, and he really helped us, official way. And also it was a active priest who wants to stay anonymous, who wrote for us some priest speeches in the church. And not only him, we were talking with maybe few priests, also Andrzej Hira. He took a part with me with those conversations.
And also, I mean, when you're working with because there were quite a lot of non-professional actors in the film, weren't there? I think, isn't it all but one of the young boys, the young men?
All of them, they are non-professional. Like
Oh, I thought-
only one,
I thought
only
Blondie
one.
was a- yes,
Yeah,
I
the
recognise
Blondie. The Blondie. He's a professional, and Łukasz, the Humpty. But the rest, it's a boys from the villages. We found them from the provincial town and villages, and we work them more documentary way. Like first, before shooting, we spent together more than 1 week, just to play football, talk to them, and they had to meet us, meet Andrzej Hera. And then when we start to shooting, we start with the scenes with them, and we will observe them more. Then it was like it came from our documentary experience to work with this unprofessional people. Also in the church, or some part of the family of Humpty, they are also from the village. Then we were trying to mix these two worlds together, the actors and non-professionals. And at the beginning, we were really afraid if it's gonna work. But in editing, I think we put this all together and it works finally.
Because you've got quite a strong documentary background, haven't you? In fact, it's very much a family business.
Yes, also family business, kind of. Like my father, he used to be a documentary director. But also I have made few documentary films, and last years I quit this. But somehow, in the name of it's like getting back to the documentary roots, in a way of filming, in a way of thinking about cinema, and I found it very strong, and it's a good path for me. Then maybe the next movies also I will do more into this documentary mood.
So what is I think you were talking about 2 projects you're working on.
Yes, we have 2 projects. I'm working on 2 projects now. One, it's again very small Polish movie. We don't know yet exactly the title, but it's something about the connection human beings to the body. What is the connection? And it's gonna be maybe 2 or 3 characters, and also very grounded into the Polish reality. And the next project, it's a project which I will make probably in France. Then it's going to be about 2 sisters, based on the documentary film I have made somehow, but I never edited. Then it's kind of experiment.
Right.
Like, writing the documentary materials down, and out of these materials I want to create a script.
Because you've often sort of played around with things, sort of structures of things. I mean, I think you've filmed 33 scenes from life where...
Yes, it came from reality somehow. And also this film about the 2 sisters, I'm thinking that it's gonna be very connected to the real story.
Now, when the film was actually shown to Polish critics, what was the reaction like?
The reaction, it's in general, we can say we have a very good reviews, in general. Like after Berlinale, we have very good reviews in most important newspapers. Also, same now after the Polish premiere. But there's also some voices which are against the film. As I said at the beginning, the right wing, they're extremely against. But there is also young critics, some young critics, they don't like the film because they think it's too soft. If you know what, they treat it as a kind of compromise. But I think it's a question of being young also. Like the young people, they expecting something very radical. And I'm on the moment in my life as an artist also that I don't like it. That it's kind of like misunderstanding.
I mean, because there's a danger, isn't there, if you're in dealing with a sort of pioneering subject in terms of Polish cinema, there is a sort of danger that you can be seen to be representing a particular agenda which might not be the case in.
And somehow it happened already. Like, I mean, when they are talking about my cinema, it's always like it's a controversial, because like 33 scenes, it's controversial because I'm talking about family in such a way, about dying, with a black humor and etc. Sponsoring, and now this film.
Just as sponsoring is the Polish title of L, isn't it?
L, yeah.
That was released over.
Sponsoring is a Polish title, L is English title. Then somehow they treat me as somebody who touched this controversial things. But I think it's, I like that kind of issues, but I don't treat myself as somebody who wants to make controversial films.
Yes, you don't think, right, this is the issue. This
No,
is,
never,
yes.
never.
So you don't think, because what I was going to ask you is there is certainly a very, I mean, going from
I
a...
like the film. I don't like the film because for some it was Ciuś. Ciuś from the word, maybe Ciuś from English and from all the countries.
I don't know what that means, ciuś.
Ciuś, can you speak Polish?
Yes. No, I can't because I'm in London now.
London, but this make reżyser Polish and talking now every day, every night in Poland about the film, and I hearing too much in Polish TV Kultura, which talking, and I think my opinion, coming people special, which talking very nice, oh, homosexual is priest. Of course, it's many. Same everywhere, any groups, is many people sick, no sick. And now I think so, if would you like to speak or make film about, for example, any people, any generation, for example, Hackney, Council, etc., which many people know very bad about people, and if put, and really exactly put film, so I think so 75% people, population, that, oh, that is really true, maybe not true. So nobody, a lot of people know.
Can I just, is this actually building up to a question?
I love No, she just wants to say that she doesn't like
I
it.
don't know why coming to many people, I don't know if this is Polish, not very good, because if many people, but I don't understand if here is Polish people, if I coming and I Polish, my
We're Polish.
Yes, we Polish.
I think there's many Polish people.
many Polish people, so why you very
Panią biskup Kowalczyk przysłał.
Nie, ojciec nie wiedział. Jak byłam dzieckiem, to chodziłam, chyba to było, ja nie wiem, miałam ostatnio 15 lat, to byłam ostatni raz u spowiedzi. Naprawdę. I jak byłam dzieckiem, to chodziłam, to chyba jeszcze było w drugiej klasie liceum, gdzie byłam ostatni raz na religii, a teraz noszę krzyż, chociaż wiem, że ci ludzie są tak jak wszędzie, dlatego, że jest tak obrzydliwa nagonka, że już by się nawet wstydzili właśnie na tą religię, na tych księży, bo oczywiście ja też zawsze mówiłam, że ksiądz to jest ten ksiądz, który wybiera...
Given that we have to, I'm on bound to finish this in
No,
less
I
than
think
15
it's very
minutes.
interesting. Really, I
And
like
I
the
think
situation.
so the place is not Leicester Square, no nice, because the Polish people which look at the Hackney, which is too bad. No, I don't know, because I'm hearing which the lady says, so that is not a gonka, so I stop taking 7,000 people, that is not gonka, what wymiot, if I'm hearing Polish kultura, and I think that is from who? From Jewish people, if I'm hearing the kultura, nie, ja będę właśnie siedziała i czekała, jeśli mogę, jeśli mnie nie wyproszą, jeśli wyproszą, to wyjdę. I słuchała, jak się,
But we wanted to leave.
jak mówiono,
No,
że
come on,
kiedyś
let's-
właśnie komunę, sieczkę...
Can I bring this, we're now eating into the time I was going to give to the rest of the audience.
A ja jestem kobieta, która ma już 60 lat i się nie mogę nadziwić, jaką sieczkę teraz młodzieży mają. Oj, właśnie to jest młodzież.
Did you like him? Podobał się pani film?
Słucham?
Podobał się pani film?
Yes, I think we're, right.
Dobrze jest realizowany właśnie.
Bo my chcemy z panią
Okej.
rozmawiać tutaj.
Dziękujemy chwilę.
Czy komuna była bardziej taka, czy jacyś... No już posłucham, bo to trzeba mieć... Nie uczono, to mówiono, że trzeba mieć predyspozycję, żeby młodzież, która jest chłodna i...
Can you continue? Just, you know, go.
Let's continue.
Right,
żeby opowiedzieć innym.
okay, by now I was going to open this up to the audience, so I am going to open this up to the audience.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Did anyone have any questions for Malgosia?
Sorry, first, I've got two questions. The first question is, what was the reaction of the church in Poland to the film? And the second is, why did you decide to base the story in a sort of very specific, very rural, very sort of Class B place in Poland? Just, for me, for example, personally, not very representative of what Poland is in the first place, but secondly, it is quite niche, isn't it? Compared, why is it not in an urban environment?
I can start with the second question. It's also on purpose. I mean, like, if we picture the priest who is living in the big city, it's saying less about Poland and about homosexual priest situation than in the Poland B. Because Polish province, it's 80% or even more of the society, and it shows homophobia, it shows how people are closed there, it shows the mentality. If we will move the action into the big city like Warsaw, it's different. I know the priest in the Warsaw or in Krakow, ale proszę pani, ja teraz mówię i pani się teraz nie będzie odzywać. No. And I was sorry. And the priests in Warsaw or in Krakow, they are, for example, walking around, they're going to cafes, they're smoking cigarettes, sometimes they are going to receptions, to the parties. It's a different dimension, completely. Then to say something about Polish situation and the situation of the Catholic Church in Poland, it was better for us to choose the province. And the first question, there is no church reaction to the film. I think they prefer not to say anything. Because it's hard to say something, because they cannot say it's a lie, they cannot attack the film.
Because it's true.
Because it's true. And from the other hand, the film is delicate. Then it was two monks, Dominicanie, I don't know how to use English, in Dominicanie, two monks in the television, and they, one of them, he watched the film, and he said that he doesn't think that the film is controversial. But it's not official church representative. Then the really people from the right, they attacked him. Why they are saying something like this about this film? But there is no official church statement. Nothing like this happened.
Which is actually very similar to your portrait of the church in the film, isn't it? Because they decided just to keep quiet about it.
Yes, exactly. And it's the journalist asked me half a year ago if I'm expecting any church reaction or if I'm expecting a scandal. And I said, no, I didn't expect. And I was right. Because it's just better for them not to say anything. It's easier and somehow it's smarter.
Right,
I have a question about, I was very interested about the young guys and the way you work with them. There are many fluent scenes in the film, especially in the beginning. I'm interested, how did you manage to film such a, because they look really real and very interesting, like, it was like because you said you were working based on a documentary
Approach.
documentary way.
Yes.
So these scenes, like, were so strong. So how did you get this? Like, they were really playing. They were not playing.
They were improvised.
They were
Then it's exactly like I said before, that we collect the group, it was a huge group, then we choose 8 people.
Yeah.
And then we spent with these 8 people like more than 1 week together, really like, they were playing football with Andrzej Chyra, with Mateusz Kościukiewicz, with the other actors. They have talked and they spent some time together, also with the camera, with different camera, with the small camera. Then I could observe them, the way how they are talking and the way how they are behave. Then somehow I recreate the scenes again after this 1 week using their tools, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, he's like this and he's like this. Then I was trying to do something, follow them, follow the boys, not to force them that now you have to do this and that. It was more like follow them and their attitude. Something, that's why I said documentary. And at the same time, they were really powerful. That at the beginning, Andrzej Hieraki was really afraid of them. Like he said, oh my God, they are stronger on the screen than I am. And it wasn't so easy because sometimes the unprofessional, they are stronger than professional. That we have to find a balance between these two words. Like Andrzej, the other actors, and them.
Right, so yes, sir.
Yes, so I have questions. First of all, well done. I really enjoyed the film. It was beautifully done. My question is, what's the sort of origin of the story? How was the story born, and where did you take your ideas for it, and how it sort of evolved in the script writing stage?
I had the story in my mind many years ago, to be honest, because I used to be a part of Catholic Church, then I quit. Then I had a kind of knowledge about the priest, about the society of the priest, and about Catholic society. And I felt that because I was so close to that, it's something also private I can tell about. But I didn't have idea what kind of story I want to tell about. And then I found the article in the newspaper, and it was a story about young boy who killed the priest. And to be honest, nobody knows why. And it was only like gossips around, like maybe they have a homosexual relation, or maybe he was just a thief. Maybe he wants to steal something. Finally, nobody knows. Nobody knows. The priest was killed, the boy was locked in the mental hospital, and this and over of the story. And then, based on it, I was trying to figure out that kind of story. Province, priest, young man, young boy from the village. Then I have read another article, and then it's like part is from the reality, and the part is like our imagination. Then finally it doesn't based on any real story, but there are some connections to the real stories.
One of the things during the film which was quite tense for me was the line between sort of paedophilia and homosexuality. It was lots of it seemed very similar to the documentary Deliver Us from Evil, which is so. I was just wondering if that was a difficult thing for you to do, having to sort of say this is more about an independent man's love rather than about a specific issue about paedophilia.
The thing is that we decided not to make a film about pedophilia. It was our decision. I mean, that's why we took the boys who were like 18, 19, 20. It was a clever decision because to make a film about pedophilia, it's going to be completely different. We wanted to make a film more about love or missing for love, not about pedophilia. Then that's why we took the boys who are older. They are not kids. That's it.
Okay, there was, yes.
I just want to ask about the ending. Was it from the start that you knew it would be like a hopeful ending? So obviously, after he drives away, on a personal level, it ends obviously quite. Well, we assume quite. People obviously we don't know exactly what happened. How early was that, or did you ever think about ending it more pessimistic?
The end came to us later, to be honest, while editing, because at the beginning we had a different end in our minds. We were thinking about maybe that he has to die, the priest. To be honest, we weren't sure. And we used to work like this, that we are shooting part of the movie and then we are making a small break. And with the open mind, we shoot again the end. And then the end came to us like, it was for us only one possible end, kind of ironical and very realistic, not sentimental, not the black one, but it came later. And it's also, there is many people who don't like the end. They think it's suddenly too direct, that it shows a position of the director to the subject. But I had a strong feeling that without this end, there is no discussion, and there is no my personal position to the subject matter. That's why we decided to shoot this end. And the end also came to us from the newspapers. Because we had read that there is many situations like this. That there is a homosexual relation between the priest and, for example, a young boy, and the young boy is from the poor family, and the priest put the boy to the seminar just to keep the connection. Have a nice day. Good night.
We've got time for one last question, and you've been putting your hand up loads of times. So.
I just wanted to say that this story about the priest who was killed actually happened in my hometown. Yeah, Blachownia.
Blachownia, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And my question is, what cinematic inspirations were there for you? Because to me it seemed Polish Brokeback Mountain, really. Just a love story, basically. And I'm just thinking if you had any sort of thoughts of other films that talk about this subject.
Yes, of course, we have watched the Brokeback Mountain many times, and we're thinking. I like it also very much, and but we were thinking that there is a connection. But we were treated more as a joke. Polish Brokeback Mountain sounds very funny. We have watched, for example, it sounds strange, but the big inspiration, you cannot see it on the screen, it's a short film about killing by Kieślowski. It's inspiration, but I don't know, something from different perspective. Yes, for example, we have watched this film also, but not too many films. This too, maybe.
But I'm just thinking about your personal past. You know what I mean? Like past films that you've seen that sort of...
There's so many films.
I know.
So many. It's hard to say. It's like I like Gus Van Sant, Haneke, so many films. It's hard to say now.
I think we're about to be thrown out of the cinema, so I think on the note of pitching the film as a short film about killing meets Brokeback Mountain, thank you. Thank you very much.
I think it was very somehow fun with the lady, really, because I can tell you honestly, in Poland it never happened.
It was very Polish.
And it happened here in this quarter, which is so, open, and somebody is coming. It's amazing. I will keep it in my mind. Cheers, cheers.